It's such a beautiful Sunday. I went to visit the two churches. It's so funny. You can see the real reason why Christians, specifically Christians, I don't want to talk about non-Christians at this point, but the Christians, why they never see any results. I personally almost believe there is a really, truly agenda in the churches now, in the religious world, where they don't want you to really know the truth. They don't want you to actually succeed. They don't want you to be sick just like the doctors. They want you to be sick, broke, and needy, because that's how they can get you back. There's always the next Sunday. It's always the next treatment. It's always the next medicine that's coming up, and just coming, hoping that the next test's gonna do it, and then the next procedure's gonna do it, and the next preaching session will do it. That's how they get you. That's how these son of a bitches get you. It's so freaking funny. I can see right through it. I went to one church this morning, and it was a Sunday school, and I was sitting there, and then the teacher was talking about how all the enemies, he was naming all the demons and all the enemies. That's the reason why we struggle. That's the reason why we have all these problems. It's the outside enemy. And then he was talking about how enemy always kills men, how he always kills the boys, and I stood up and I said, yeah, why do you think it is? Why do you think it is that the enemy that you call enemy always tries to kill the man? Well, I don't know why he doesn't kill women. What's the big difference? Why all the smart women, they don't get killed, right? In this society where everybody's worship women, why they don't kill the women? Oh my goodness, that was a show. They were all freaked out. So I told them, well, I'll tell you why it is. Because the man is the only one who can actually do something, who actually can change. Women will submit to anything. Women will submit to any crap. It don't matter. They will, even if you conquer the land and you kill their husbands, guess what? The women eventually come along and they will actually marry you and have babies with you. That's what always happened in the past. That if you read the history, that's what happened many times. The conquerors actually married the women, and the ones who killed their husbands and fathers and whatever, even sons, the women eventually submitted, and they came along and were just happy, just like before, just with the new husband. Well, he's actually even better, because this husband is much stronger. He killed my old fat dummy. So now I actually we're gonna have a better babies, right? Naturally, that's how they're inclined. So that was that. And after, because they would not let me talk after that, they were trying to hush me down. And after the teaching, I stood up and I went to the teacher and I told him, it was all beautiful, but it's all nonsense. I'll tell you all this, what you were talking about, how the enemies, the reasons why you don't get actually the life you deserve and the life you are actually praying for. It's not that. What actually destroys your wisdom and destroys your good future is a comfort. It's comfort and safety. That's the main reasons why you are fat, sick, broke, and dumb. That's the comfort. It's not the enemy. It's not the demons. They had nothing to do with it. Just like the non-Christians, they believe that the reasons why they don't do as well is because some stupid rednecks just put some dummy in the White House. And instead of driving all EV cars, now we have the rednecks driving this fat pickup trucks, V6, V8 engines. That's why the whole planet is getting destroyed, and we're gonna die in a minute. It's horrible. They blame some rednecks, and they blame somebody in the White House, and blame some dummies somewhere else, instead of looking at themselves, how their own problems. The Christians, they blame demons and devils, and of course some Democrats and some other entities, some some kind of dark entities out there, who's just trying to control their wonderful life. And so I went to the different. I was like, okay, I'm out of here. Oh, you need to go to a service. I said, no, I'm not going to freaking service. You're weak. What would I do here? I listen to another weak sermon. How we're gonna bomb down to demons? How you're gonna be scared of some devils? You're weak. You're not man. So I'm out of here. So I left. They were begging me come back. And it's like, no, I don't hang out with weak men. And I went to the different church. It's just there was another church, a startup. I'm thinking, oh, it's probably one of the dummies who got kicked out of the big Baptist church. They started their own little branch. And so I went up there, and he was telling, oh, if you have any needs, or if you wanna say something, what God put on your heart, just come here. Well, I went up there, and I said, okay, I'm gonna give my testimony about what God has done in my life, how He actually led me from being very successful to being broke, to actually know myself, because I believe that's the main reason why you actually want to be around God, because He can teach you who you are, right, and actually lead you somewhere, right? It can actually show you actually what's your true gift and abilities are, right? Not what the world show you. And I get it. And so I was telling them my testimony, and after I interrupted and said, well, I want to know what did Jesus did. What did Jesus? What we want to hear the Jesus, the testimony about Jesus. I said, what? How do you? Are you saved? Are you gonna get heaven? I said, yeah, I'm saved, but that has nothing to do with it. I'm just giving you testimony what it takes to receive God's blessings, what it takes to actually see results in your life. And I'm trying to explain to you that every time you pray, God wants to answer your prayers. He's giving, but it's not gonna be the way you expect it. See, majority of people, if they pray for something, they already have an agenda, they already have an idea how that's gonna work out. And that's the problem. That's the main problem why you never have the result. That's why you never see the true success. It's why you never have the freedom. It's why you never have the body you wanted. It's why you never had the money and the financial freedom you wanted. Because you're always looking for ways how they're supposed to work out and what shouldn't be working out. Instead of let really God, universe, whatever you want to call it, I'll let that much more powerful, more intelligent source to guide you. Right? But that's not what churches don't want to. So I had to walk away from that church too, because they are, like I said, the main reasons why these churches are full of people, desperate, sick, needy people, is because they are constantly fed with this next time it will happen, or when the Jesus comes it will happen, or next sermon's gonna give you the right answer. No, the answer is in you. And the problem is you are in comfort. You are too comfortable. If you are fat and broke and you are comfortable with it, then that's how it's gonna be. If you want to have a six-pack and you have a financial independence, you're not happy with where you are, you're gonna have to be uncomfortable bad enough to change that. That's what will happen. No demons, another preacher will give you some answer. You have to change because you freaking will not change, and it's painful enough, it's uncomfortable enough, and I don't want to live one more day like that. That's it. It has nothing to do with some nonsense. Okay? So don't wait for some next Sunday preaching, because it's all garbage. That just like this doctor system, just like the health system, just like the public school system, it's all the same. Keep you in line, keep you being a little obedient, scared slave, and keep you coming back. That's all what it is. All right. I'll talk to you next time. Have a good time.